Alright, this video is going to explain the only 2 reasons why you are not booking meetings. And also, if you are not signing clients right now, if you're not scaling as fast as you want, or if your clients aren't even getting the results that you want them to get, there's only 2 reasons. And once I learned these 2 reasons, it completely changed the way I view business and the results that I got for both myself, but also for my clients. So this video is going to go through both of those reasons and exactly how you can solve each one. And I promise you, if you really internalize this, if you understand the things I'm going to talk about now, and it's going to be very simple, you are going to have drastically better results for yourself and for your clients. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Welby. I'm the co-founder of Agency Growth Partner. We've helped over 25, 6, 7, and even 8-figure marketing agencies to build out client acquisition systems, add 50, 100, 150K per month to their monthly revenue, and really just scale up side clients predictably. And if you want more info on that, you can just check the description. So there are only 2 reasons why your system is not getting the outcome that you wanted to get. So for booking meetings, if your goal is to do that, then that would be the outcome. The outcome would be booking meetings. So the only 2 reasons why you wouldn't be booking meetings is because you don't have a good system to book meetings, or the system is not being followed. And I'll be honest, in most situations, it's the second one. It's the fact that the system isn't being followed. And that's the first point that I want to go into, is that most people inherently know what to do, they just don't do it, right? So when I first started out, I was sending outreach, but in my head, I was saying outreach doesn't work. Email doesn't work, LinkedIn doesn't work, all these people telling me to do outreach, it's all a scam and I hate this and everything's terrible. But then what I did was I got a coach, I got a mentor who looked into my business and, gave me feedback on what I was doing wrong. And in essence, he called me an idiot. And I think many times in life, we don't need many things, but we do need someone to just call us dumb, Because what he did was, when I said, outreach isn't working, I hate all of this, email's bad, he asked me, let me see your stats. And I said, what stats? And he said, the stats of your outreach. How many messages are you sending every single day? How many replies did you get? How many positive responses did you get? How many bookings did you get? All these things. And I said, I don't have metrics. My metrics are in my head. And that's when he called me an idiot. Because the thing is, when we look back, when I opened up LinkedIn and checked the amount of messages I sent, I would send messages that say 2 days per week. So 2 out of the 7 days I was sending. And when I did send, it was sporadic. Some days would be 20, some days would be 3. So the thing is, the system worked, right? Because I actually got a booking from it. But because I was so emotional, because I was so irrational, I would say that the system didn't work. And that's the point that I want to bring up. Emotionality in business causes more problems than the system itself. So a lot of times I speak to agency owners, which is every day. I speak to agency owners every day. And what they tell me is, I tried outreach and it just wasn't working and, I didn't have the time. I was like, okay, what are your stats? Because now I'm the smart one, apparently. So I asked them what their stats are. And they say, yeah, well, I send some days, it's inconsistent. I don't have time. It's like, okay. So when I actually look back, I look through the data, I look through, the actual outbound methods, and I see, again, that they're sending sporadically. They're sending all over the place. They're sending sometimes when they feel good, when they want to do work, when they want to be productive, after they watch their motivational video for the day, but when they feel a little bit tired, they just don't do it, right? And then they say that it doesn't work, or they say that they don't have time. So the solution to this is delegating, giving it to someone else, because in many situations like this, we know what to do, we just don't do it. So in business, crazy as it sounds, you're actually allowed to hire people and have them do it themselves, because in many cases, you might not like doing the thing. You might not like accounting. You might not like service delivery. You might not like running ads, whatever it might be. And there are people on this world who like the things that you don't like. So in many cases, because we're so emotional, because we don't like the task, we don't do it. So the solution is actually, once you have a proven system, and I'll go into that now, give it off to someone else, right? Give it off to someone else, because it's their job to do it correctly. And they're not as emotionally invested into doing the action properly. Because you might be tired, you might be thinking, oh, what if they think badly of my business when I do outreach? What if my brand reputation disappears? But the other person doing the job, they'll be like, hey, I'm getting paid for this, I might as well do it. So they're going to do it regardless. You're going to do it when you feel like it. So the solution for not following the system is actually giving it to someone who wants to do it. Someone that's incentivized more to do it. And that's usually what I found the best for acquisition too. Usually if you're doing the acquisition, if your emotions are turbulent and up and down, your revenue is going to be turbulent and up and down. This is why the businesses that we work with, the agencies that we partner with, get the best results when we take it over, because we're not as emotionally tied into the ups and downs. We've done this so many times that we know that sometimes it's going to be better than others, but we're not going to cry if it goes bad, or we're not going to, say we're the best in the world, even though we aren't, when it goes well. So that's the first point, right? If you have a system that works, what you most likely do is just not being followed. But for the people who haven't tried it, and the people who may not have the right system right now, and you can judge whether you have the right system if it's getting the outcome that you want. But you don't have to use some crazy system isolation, variable mechanism, whatever. You just have to ask, is it getting the outcome that I want? And am I doing it? Yes or no? If yes, then the system's broken, right? If you're not booking meetings, then the system's broken. If you're not signing clients, your system is broken. If your clients aren't getting the results that they want, the system is broken, as long as someone is following it. So what I want to do, if you have someone following it or willing to follow it, I want to walk you through the framework that I use to identify at which point the system breaks and really isolate the variable, fix the variable, and then move on to the next. So the first thing that you want to do, if your system is not getting the outcome that it wants, is understand that the system, the entire system, is a collection of parts. So let's look at acquisition as an example, acquiring clients. The first thing that we need to do is, source leads. We need to find the lead, right? Then the next stage, and you want to just look at this like a pipeline, like a straight line. First, we need to find leads. Second, we need to reach out to leads. Third, we need to get these leads onto bookings or into a meeting with us. Fourthly, we need to make a proposal for these leads. And fifth, we need to close the deal. So each step is a component of the system. So when the system isn't getting the outcome that you want, you need to start at the beginning, because that's the most important. If something's wrong in the beginning, right, in the initial stages of the system, it's going to affect every single next component of the system. So again, start at the beginning. So if you are not booking meetings, maybe there's a fault in your targeting. Maybe you're reaching out to the wrong people completely. So this is the first thing that you want to fix. So are you reaching out to the right people? Do they have the budget? Can they actually work with you? Right? This is the first thing that you need to figure out. And if you're completely sure that this is not the issue, then you move on to the next step. And one thing that I want to emphasize is that at every stage in the system, you can validate whether the outcome is being achieved for that stage alone. So to validate whether you're reaching out to the right people or not, all you need to do is go through the list of people you're reaching out to, check their website, check whatever you need to see to determine whether they're qualified or not. So for example, if you only work with people who have over 10 case studies, you go to the website, check the case study section, and you see, okay, they have more than 10. So they qualify. Now you know that you're reaching out to the right people. The next step is sending the messages. So to validate whether we're sending messages to the prospect, all we need to do is go through the messages that we thought we sent, check if they were actually delivered, check if they were actually received. And then once we validate that, we move to the next one. Then our prospects replying to the messages, right? So there's no point sending the messages if they're not replying. So if leads are replying positively, if they want to continue, if they want to learn more, if they like what you're saying, then we move on to the next step. And if one of these steps aren't working, then that's where we need to solve something. That's where we need to change something. But the key is that you only change one thing at a time. You only look at one variable at a time. If something's not working in the system and you change the entire 10-part system, then how are you going to know what was broken? How are you going to know which part that you changed actually fixed the outcome? So you need to do one at a time so you can isolate all the variables. And you keep doing this until you get to the end of the process. So you keep going until you're constantly having calls with qualified prospects. You know it's the right people. They're applying positively. They're getting on calls. You're making proposals. And they sign up as a client. That's when you have what we call proof of concept. That's when we know the system is working. If it can get the desired outcome, which we need to define, every system needs a defined desired outcome. If it's hitting that outcome, which is signing clients predictably at the price that you want, then the system works. Then you need to put someone in that's going to follow the system every day to get the desired outcome. But again, like point one, if you as a business owner are still doing this yourself, there's always going to be a chance that there's going to be emotionality and irrationality going into the system. There's always going to be a chance that you might not feel like it today, and you're cold, and the economy, and you're hungry, so you don't do it. So we need to make sure that it always gets done. And if it does, because we have proof of concept, because we have a proper system, we know that it's going to get the desired outcome. And if it stops getting that outcome, then it means something in the system has changed. And that's how we can really do this in an organized, systematic fashion, as opposed to just throwing things at the wall and hoping, pays an invoice. So this is the framework that we use for ourselves and for our partners too. And if you want more information on how we do this for our partners, you can just check the description. But other than that, Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next one.